Hello, guys. Welcome to the Quadcast, where we fans discuss about the global events in context to India. So, Nimish, hi, hello,
Hello,
how are
hello.
you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are
L-
you,
l-
Nikhil?
l- I'm good. How's the June weather hitting you in UK?
It doesn't feel like June. It's terrible to be honest. It's raining all the time. It's as cold as February. We're
Gloomy.
waiting for summer. We have been waiting for a month now, but it's still not here. So
I thought there was some heat wave in the
there
whole
was
Europe,
a
right?
there was a heat wave, like where
Uh,
temperatures go to 30 degrees. Oh my God.
30 degrees
For a week.
for
But
the
then
week also.
it's again back to the usual British weather. At least the days are long now. Days are there's daylight until 9:30, and in the
Oh.
morning, yeah, sun rises at like 4:30 or something. So it's very long days. So that's the
Mm.
only good thing of June so far. Waiting for the warm weather though.
Exactly. So, if uh, the UK is situated in that part of the area where it sits closer to the Arctic Circle, but still enjoys relatively warm weather, right? Because of
Yeah,
that,
it's
which current is there?
Yeah, I think North Atlantic current or something. I don't know, but I think
Hmm,
yeah, UK is you're absolutely right. UK is it's up north. It's higher
up
than
north,
most places in Canada,
exactly.
and still the temperature is quite balanced because I think
Quite
it's
balanced.
an island nation as well, so covered by a sea. So I think that
Ironization, and
helps.
I think it's a major current. I think I can remember that or no, but that whole thing is responsible for that moderate climate in UK, Spain, Portugal, that kind of Atlantic coast.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
definitely possible. Yeah. But the temperature rarely goes below 5 degrees,
exactly,
and rarely goes above 35 degrees. So it's
about
quite
35
balanced.
degrees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well balanced. Yeah.
How hot is it in India right now?
I
40?
think it's yeah, it's no, it's not 40. It was I think at its peak it was 44 degree here in
Vadodara?
Gujarat, Vadodara, yeah,
Yeah.
44 degree. Right now it's around maximum is around 35 degree, and
35.
yeah, but
Yeah.
due to clouds, overhead clouds, right, it's very humid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's right now it's the monsoon is around the corner, so it's
Hmm,
going to be more humid than the usual. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hope monsoon comes early this year.
exactly.
Let's start.
So yeah, Anish, yeah. So let's start with our very important news regarding India, which is the TFR, which is the total fertility ratio, fertility rate of India. It's has come down to 1.9, which is below the replacement level of 2.1.
Hmm.
In recently in June 2026, the sample registration system statistical report 2024 by the Office of Registrar General of Census Commissioner put up a report which states that the India's total fertility. So it's an official record. It's a government record which states that the TFR has declined to 1.9. It's the first time in its modern history it has fallen below the uh,
A basic
replacement
question
level.
on that before we move on. Do you know how they have computed this data? Because there was no census in that period, so it's just an estimate.
Yeah,
Must be an
I
estimate.
think they do some statistical analysis and they come to that number. I think it's more or less standard practices which other countries also follow. I think
Hmm.
this report, na, it was calculated, not calculated. It was started at around 2024. So yeah, the latest census is not the it's a separate work in progress, but this is separate.
Yeah. You don't need a full census. You can, of course, you have the data for the births happening. So you have birth rate,
Exactly,
and then you can
exactly,
use that. So you can use some real world data with some estimate
exactly,
to,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, to predict the TFR. Yeah.
I think United Nations also predicted India's TFR will be around 1.9 in
Uh,
2025. So yeah, it's more or less in the same ballpark area. And
mm,
this news has received global attention with Elon Musk and who tweeting
of course.
uh,
Yeah. Because he
whatnot.
keeps talking about this population. What's the
Yeah,
word? Uh,
he's an excipients of I think population growth.
Collapse. Yeah, like
Yeah,
he is worried about population collapse,
uh,
and yeah. So any
yeah,
news that suggests that the population is collapsing will
Hmm.
get a tweet from him for sure. Mm.
But I think at one point in human history, there were only around 100 or some odd humans in the world. I think at one point.
100, just 100, 100.
Yeah, just 100. And from that, I read that somewhere.
No, it's
I
possible.
don't
I
know.
think maybe in times of some extreme events. These
Yeah,
are called genetic bottlenecks, where
exactly.
basically you
Yeah,
just have like 100 people in the gene pool, and all the current the today's population is basically they're descendant of these 100
yeah,
people. So
yeah.
the gene pool sort of becomes extremely
Narrow,
non-diverse. We just have 100 people,
mm,
and then they intermix, and then the gene pool starts expanding from there.
expanding.
And that has a lot of implications on evolutionary biology, and lots of uh,
Exactly.
biological processes get impacted because of these
Mm.
bottleneck.
Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but I think I read somewhere in some book. I think I don't know.
And I
So
think it's
yeah,
maybe not 100, but like really small
a
population.
really
I think
really small population. Yeah.
during some extreme events, I think this sounds plausible. Yeah.
So yeah, coming back to India's TFR ratio. Yeah, I was looking through the trajectory of our TFR, right? So after independence in 1950, India's TFR was 5.991. Uh, yeah,
5.91.
5.91.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
And in 1919 and 1991, it was around 3.6, and 2021 it was around 2.
Can you define what TFR is, first of all, so people can comprehend how high the number was? Yeah.
Yeah, TFR means the average number of in crude sense. In crude sense, TFR means average number of baby a woman have in the lifetime. So
So even
if
in 1991, it was like 3.9. So on average, a woman was having
3.6,
3.6, so almost like
3.6
three
babies,
to four kids, even in 1991. That's
even in the other one,
mind
yeah,
blowing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So in 2021 it was around 2, and in 2024 it is around 1.9.
Mm.
So yeah, we have come a long way in very short time.
Why is this number of 1.9 important? If you can also allude to that, like why?
So let's say two people, a male and
Mm,
a female, procreate and make a baby. So if
mm,
one couple has only one child, one child, and if they both die, uh, then only one people replace that two people.
right.
Are you getting? So if a couple has two child, then both of them gets replaced. So it is called replacement level ratio. So it's slightly it's not exactly two. It's around 2.1. Is some statistical so uh
Because of all the mortality involved, right? Like some
modality. Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
may die without again procreating, or basically to
Exactly. Yeah.
to keep the
So yeah,
population uh,
exactly.
balanced, you need
Balance.
slightly above the
Slightly above. Yeah,
number
yeah.
of two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's called the replacement level fertility. So if it's below one, below two, so it's not replacing the people who are there currently. So suppose a couple has only one child. So if they both die, then they'll have only one child left.
Mm,
So the population shrinks dramatically.
Right.
You can see that in Japan and South Korea,
China, one child
China.
policy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, China. China, it's still yeah. China is also, but Japan and they are in the late stage of
Yeah, right.
uh, population decline. And China it's I think very early stages.
Yeah. They had this 20 years of one child
Yeah,
policy.
yeah,
So that,
like yeah.
yeah, but then now,
Now, yeah,
yeah, yeah, they will see the impact of that. Yeah. And I
exactly,
guess even if the policy is relaxed now, but people would voluntarily now choose to have only one kid. So that trend will continue even if the policy is no longer in place.
exactly. So, right now, if we go about the population of India, it's around 1.46 billion, right? 146 crores, and I think going by the trend now, we'll reach our maximum population peak will be achieved at around I think 2060s at around 1.7 billion before entering a
So
structural decline.
yeah, so that is the estimate by the UN. I think UN's, and this was estimated, I think around 5, 6 years ago. So
Hmm.
UN's projection is that India will reach its peak in 2060. But I think now with recent data,
No, no,
experts think that
but UN also predicted the same TFR. UN predicted TFR of 1.9, and the Statistical Commission also gave the number 1.9. So it's
no, I
same.
think no, I think in the short term it's matching the actual data. But I think the
Hmm.
projection is experts think that the projection is
Even
over.
less
Yeah, the projection is higher than the actual reality. I think the rates are
decline
declining
rapidly.
rapidly.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So the
uh,
peak will occur before,
peak will occur much earlier than
much
2060,
earlier. Yeah.
and it may be a bit slightly even lower than the
Yeah.
population will be lower than the projected
Population.
population, and the decline will
Maybe
also start very rapidly, and it will be a dramatic decline than what UN is projecting. So I think even UN's estimate is an overestimate. It's
overestimate.
yeah, the situation is far dire. Not
But
dire. I don't know if dire is
no,
the right
yeah,
word.
it's
It's
yeah
different. It's
different. Yeah.
uh, yeah,
Because in India we are so used to the population explosion. So this now we're hit with a brick, right? That the
yeah,
population is stable. Population is now will decline.
yeah,
So that's kind of a very hard pill to swallow. It's a reality check that many will not able to face.
yeah. Absolutely. I think there are 2 points here. First, yeah, like for decades and decades, it was drilled in the population that you are having too many babies. You need to,
Exactly.
start doing family planning. And there were like active government campaigns. And in 1970s, during emergencies, you know
Yeah.
already what Sanjay Gandhi
Forceful,
did,
yeah.
forceful sterilization and all those
Sterilization.
campaigns. So I think for decades, overpopulation was the problem, and all the policies were directed towards solving that. I think now the government and even experts, government, society at large is sort of waking up to this new reality that maybe, yeah, I think that goal is achieved. That
Mm.
goal has been successful and the policies worked, and yeah, population is not exploding as it was
Excellent.
predicted. But now I think the concern is that maybe there is extremely rapid decline, and the concern, I think, why would that be bad, right? So that's the question. Why would an
Mm.
extremely rapid decline would be bad? I think the point is that experts worry that India may become old before it becomes rich. I
Which
think because we need young working class, working aged people to for productivity and to boost the economy and do all of that. So if we are not rich like Japan and Korea and all these countries, and if we get to their population distribution too early, then it's also a catastrophe in terms of economics, in terms of economy
mm.
and productivity and all of that. We can discuss this in detail.
Will we know that the total fertility rate of the country as a whole is 1.9. So if we let's see the details, as they said, the devil is in the detail. So the rural India's TFR is around 2.1. So it's around replacement level. But the urban India is set around 1.5.
1.5. Wow.
1.5. So yeah,
Mm,
and so you can see that the urban areas are producing way less children than the rural areas. But still, the rural areas also not as producing as many babies as they were in at around 1950s. It's
mm,
it's around replacement, which is still a good sign. It's a
mm,
good sign. It's an optimum sign. So if you look at the state-wise the data, the Bihar is highest at 2.9, and Bihar is the only state which has recorded the lowest decline. So only 9.4% decline in TFR rate. Uh, Uttar Pradesh is second, I think it's around 2.6.
mm,
Then Madhya Pradesh 2.4, Rajasthan 2.3, Jharkhand 2.2. Then southern states like Karnataka 1.5, Andhra Pradesh 1.4, Maharashtra 1.4, Kerala 1.3, Tamil Nadu 1.3, West Bengal 1.3, and Delhi the lowest 1.2.
1.2. All these large states, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, they're all 1.3. That's like,
1.3. It's around Scandinavian level
yeah, exactly.
TFR.
It's sort of alarming, to be honest. Like
Alarming.
it's, yeah, it's extremely low. Um, yeah. I think all this sudden decline in India and also elsewhere, not just in India. I think this flies in the
Exactly.
face of uh, the understanding so far. I think the consensus so far was that once you reach certain level of development and economic prosperity, naturally people start having fewer kids, and then uh, the TFR starts dropping after that.
Dropping.
But lots of countries around the world, including India, we haven't reached that level yet. So we are seeing earlier decline than what the Western countries saw. So
Exactly.
when
Yeah.
when their decline started, they were reasonably prosperous and well educated, and so there were all these factors that people used to think matter, like education and healthcare and all of that. So all those factors contributed for their population decline, or TFR decline. But for us, I think we haven't reached that level yet. And still, and it's not
Exactly.
just us. I think even countries in Africa, which are extremely like
Exactly.
which have nowhere close to even Indian level of prosperity, even they are seeing decline. So this is flying in the face of all the existing theory and hypothesis and everything. So
What do you
it's,
what do you what do you what do you think is the reason for that?
there was an interestingly an Financial Times article on this topic, and I think they studied a lot of different countries and all the available data. And their hypothesis is that smartphones smartphones are the cause of this decline, because I think they have a very compelling evidence. They looked at the uptake of smartphone use in different countries. So different countries started using smartphone and internet at different times. So US maybe like in when iPhone came out in early 2000, like noughties, and then India maybe like just before COVID in late 2010s and so on. Africa maybe after some countries in Africa maybe after COVID and so on. So they looked at all these different countries and when the smartphone use peaked, and then they looked at the fertility rate graphs. So if you like align all the smartphone different countries smartphone usage peak, align that with the fertility rate decline, you can see a very clear correlation. And whenever like
Hmm.
smartphone usage peaked, this with very short lag, the fertility rate started declining in all these countries.
Hmm.
Uh, so fertility rate started declining at different points for different countries, but it matched with the smartphone use
So,
rise.
so what you're saying is people people are having less sex because of the mobile phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's their hypothesis. They're not. Their claim is that people are spending all their time on smartphones, so they're not spending time with their social connections, and they're not developing social
Hmm.
relations. As a result, they are also maybe having fewer relations and like marrying the The marriage rate is also
Marriage.
declining, and as a result, eventually the fertility rate is also declining. Um, and this is not so yeah. So this is, I think there is a strong correlation there. It's not a like a causal. It's not proven that
Uh,
this is causal.
correlation is not equal to causation.
Yeah, because maybe say the smartphone use increased because the population became slightly wealthy. Right? So there is some economic
Hmm.
correlation as well. So when people become wealthy, maybe
Hmm.
that also anyway correlates with the decline of fertility. It's yes, I think there will be a lot of research coming in future on this correlation, but sounds plausible. Sounds like a
Hmm.
compelling evidence to me.
Hmm. Sounds like yeah.
It may not be
Uh,
just yes. Sorry, go
just
on.
I saw some what you're saying is true. And it's somewhat causes this low TFR, but the major factor which I consider is the rising female literacy. So yeah, the if the female are literate, then it's not correlation, it's causal relation that the total fertility will drop because because as the female literacy rate increases, they study, they get to know the world around them, so they take charge of their body. So earlier that may not be the case because they may not have a say in making babies or whatever. And now it's their say. So yeah, that's I think that is a major point. And other is somewhat related to that is a delayed marriage age. So earlier the marriage age was if you I think consider India only. I think the marriage age, average marriage age was around the 19, 10 years back, and right now it's around 21.3. So yeah,
Sure.
as a country as a whole. So in some part, like in our southern side, the marriages are anyways delayed at around 28 or 27 around, male female both.
Yeah.
What they are saying is that the delayed marriage age also like also reduces the pressure to have more babies. Like they don't want to have more babies because let's say they get married at 28 and they have a baby at 32,
Hmm.
and that very then that may be a case that the female and male cannot conceive
Yeah.
another child. Yeah. So that's also a major issue, and
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
that's major issue. Another point is institutional
No, but
childbirths.
let's discuss this point.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and there is, as you said, causal link between literacy rate and fertility rate decline. What some of the recent studies found, though, that that alone does not explain the speed of decline, the rapid decline that happened in all these countries. Like in many countries, the literacy rate did not change that much within like 10 years, but in
Hmm.
10 years, the fertility rate declined by half in some of
Hmm.
the African countries and so on. So
Hmm. Hmm.
I think that is a factor, but that alone is not the only contributing factor to this decline. Um, the second interesting aspect, it's not maybe for the developing countries, but more for the developed countries, where the other factor is data shows that in developed countries, in fact, highly educated couples, their fertility rate is sort of stabilized now, but the high school educated, not well educated people, those couples are actually their rate is still declining. Their rate is declining very rapidly, the fertility rate. And there the explanations are different. I think maybe that doesn't apply to India, but the reason is uh, affordability, like affordability crisis. They can't afford a house, they can't afford education of the
Exactly.
kids and so
Exactly.
on. So they're even if they want
Yeah.
to, they
That's
can't
also
just afford to have a kid.
exactly.
And yeah, so it's that's the problem in the Western world.
I
Um,
think I think the Western world problem also applies to the urban Indian as a whole.
abs-
Because the
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
because the urban India is also a subset of the Western kind of people. So
Yeah.
and you're right. The Western, the if you like you saw the rural is stabilized at around 2.1, but the urban TFI is 1.5. So
Mm.
one of the reason is the rising child care costs
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whole life cycle cost. The like if you have a child, then it's a whole cost for the child's life cycle. So it's
Yeah.
so that's also a major. Yeah. So
Yeah.
uh,
Um,
but I think that's secondary because if you are not even literate enough to think that
mm,
far ahead, you can't even say so. Uh, uh, Theoretically, not theoretically, traditionally, the what we thought was the less literate the less literate a person is, the more babies they will have, right? So,
mm,
and they not think about how I will support this child, how this child will fare in the world, how will he
mm,
live in this world. So after like after the literacy rate spread, after the
mm,
people were literate. So yeah, they now they think that yeah. So let's think about let's plan a family.
mm.
Earlier it was not family planning. Now we have to
Yeah.
plan a family. Now we have to think about the future of the child. Will child
Yeah.
be able to will be able to go make the child go to college? So
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of thing.
And even if you're not like highly literate, but I think even in India, like even a mediumly like a say a high school graduate,
Hmm.
they would still I think know all these basics of family planning, and they would still
Hmm.
yeah uh, yeah they won't be completely inconsiderate to all these
Hmm. Hmm.
future factors. I think things have changed. Maybe like extremely poor areas in India, maybe
Hmm.
there still it's not practiced, but I think
Yeah.
even in semi-urban areas, people would still be planning. Yeah. The other important aspect about women and like their desire for having kids and like the
Hmm.
women literacy and all of that. The other interesting fact is that all the countries they compared desire like women desire to have kids, like how many kids they desire to have compared to the actual number of kids they are having. There's a massive gap. Like they want more kids. Like they self-report that they want. The desired rate is in most countries is more than two. They, on average, they want to have more than two kids, but they're actually having 1.5 or like less than 1.5 kids on average. So sometimes it's not just that women don't want to have kids. It's maybe like there are other factors, like if they're literate enough they can't find appropriate partners for their own to match their own literacy and all of that, so maybe they can't, even if they want to, they can't have kids because of that. But yeah, it's not just that women don't want to have kids, sometimes they
But
want to have
I
kids.
I don't think that applies to India as a whole.
Do
Maybe
you think like we are say 1.5 urban rate, that's the desire of like that's how many kids
exactly. Yeah.
couples desire to have.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
Mm.
Urban to absolutely urban. To I think people only want to have that many kids as much they want. That I know.
But maybe like they truly want to have more kids, but they can't because of the childcare cost and all of these other
Yeah,
reasons.
yeah, yeah. Well, that is different. That's what I'm saying, na.
Mm.
You like the urban literate Indian has to think about those issues,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Yeah. So
So yeah,
if you
the
yeah, yeah,
desire
that,
is like the true intrinsic desire, or the desire is after taking all these factors in account and what then you
exactly,
conclude. It's
exactly,
yeah. So
exactly.
you have to see this
Desire
kind of.
desire means what? Like I want as many children as possible. That's not realistically possible, right?
No, I think this would be post constraints desire when they take all the factors in account, and if they could, with all the constraints, they would still want to
Hmm.
have. I think they would be reporting
Yeah.
that desire. And
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
still
So,
higher than the actual rate. But that will always be higher than the actual rate, right? Because many people just can't conceive, and like there are other factors which stops them from having kids.
but not by that much. Like
That
if they,
much,
if they
yeah,
yeah, if they want to have three kids, then and the average is only 1.5. I think
yeah, yeah.
that's yeah.
Yeah, they're seeing a huge gap, but maybe there is some other factor explaining that gap. Maybe
Hmm.
the self-reporting is always erroneous. Like there is,
Hmm.
yeah. So maybe it's the self-reporting part that's maybe not accurate. Yeah. Uh, another
Also, yeah, yeah. Go
point
on.
about smartphone use and that correlation. It's not unprecedented that new technology uh, leads to fewer kids. The same thing happened
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
radio. The same thing happened with television. When television came to India, uh, the a woman sitting in a small village could see how women in cities live, how many kids they have, how
Exactly.
families operate. So they got exposed to all these like
Hmm.
urban trends, and that impacted the rural fertility rate very quickly. So like even yeah, as we connect more and more people, I think it's bound to happen that the trends from urban areas reach rural areas, and smartphones maybe accelerated that trend. With social media, you can see what people are doing in cities,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
that becomes
Exactly. Yeah.
aspirational, and then you
Aspirational.
aspire towards that, and then uh, yeah, so
So
it's
what you said now, I want to connect to your earlier point that the literacy itself does not cause that steep of decline. So literacy means the awareness, like as you
awareness.
said, the
Yeah,
smart the like in smartphone, due to smartphone, the awareness is created, and I think with that awareness, maybe that kind of because with the smartphone you can. See the whole world, right? You can you can see the whole world view. You can
yeah,
see what other people in every corner of the world is doing. So that kind
yeah.
of opens your world view, and maybe that is the reason for that drastic decline.
Absolutely. I think literacy rate, when these studies measure literacy rate, they go with this actual literacy rate that we get reported, that the languages they can read and write and all of that. I think that's not
Mhm.
important. I think literacy rate means how
Exactly,
aware are you
exactly.
and how connected are
Aware,
you. So I think we
exactly.
have to
Yeah,
measure
yeah.
that. And if you measure that and correlate that with the decline, I think that will match.
So I
Yeah.
think so I think we have cracked the holy grail for low TTFR, which is the awareness through social media.
Yeah. I think probably that's a big factor for sure.
Deflector, yeah, exactly, absolutely. And another important factor is institutional deliveries. So earlier, I think major delivery were happening in the home or at around the local, like the local group deliveries where they'll have some mother like old woman who's experiencing those things. But now the I think 95.4% of deliveries are institutional deliveries. Means they are operated in institution, whether hospital, some PHC, CHC, and
Okay.
which is 97.9% in urban areas and 94.6% in rural areas. So,
Hmm.
due to this institutional delivery, the infant mortality rate is drastically reduced. So it was around 30 as late as 2019, but I think now it's only to 24 per thousand births,
Hmm.
live births. So it's also drastically reduced. So, Nivesh,
Why would that impact fertility rate though?
exactly. So, one of the causes which was said to be the reason for producing more births, like biologically, is when some child dies, so we have a progeny to carry on our lineage.
Hmm.
So I was now so I was going to go into the biology of thing, right? So you know that not the most painful, but I think one of the most painful births. uh, in the whole animal kingdom. Like it's human birth. Many like the rate of death due to childbirth is very large in human like human beings. So do you think that is the reason? If childbirth is pain free, do you think that TFR number will increase? It's very philosophical, not philosophical, but interesting question.
Pain free. But I
Pain free
think
means like no, means not like not fatally. Like
yeah,
if there's no chance that you will die, and the like your body, like body it's okay somewhat, but death,
mm,
like there's 0% chance that you will die during childbirth. Then do you think it will increase the TFR?
increase the TFR. I think
Yeah. So
we
people,
are seeing the opposite,
no.
where uh, I think childbirth is part of that equation. Where if there
Mm,
is complications in childbirth, that would put women off thinking about having kids. So I think that's part of the equation. But I think what people are concerned about is, of course, that is an important part. But I think people are also concerned about the rest of the life of the kid, where all this childcare and
exactly.
schooling and all of that. So even if that the childbirth process becomes completely seamless, completely safe, and there are no issues, there are all these other things after the child is born, right? So
That's you think that that's a major
I think
factor.
that's a bigger concern for couples
Mm,
than just the childbirth. I'm sure childbirth,
well,
if that becomes like completely safe, and let's say, I'm sure many women would not be having kids just because it impacts their body and it impacts
exactly.
different aspects of their biology. That would, if that was not the case, maybe the TFR would jump by 10-20%, I guess. So that there could be some increase because of that. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think the bigger factors would still be all these uh,
Mm,
things like schooling and whatnot, and just childcare, right? Women also,
childcare. Yeah.
the burden of childcare disproportionately falls on women's shoulders. So I think they are concerned about all of that more than just the pain of childbirth.
Yeah. So yeah. Let's for this childcare topic, right? So
But
our
like
whole
before going there, let's just discuss this point a bit more.
what which point?
Isn't this surprising that as infant mortality drops, there is like a strong correlation with TFR. Like people just start having fewer kids as infant mortality drops. I mean, it's not surprising, but it is sort
It's
of
yeah. I got your point. I got
because I
what you
think
want to
the
say.
very naive prediction would be that fewer kids are dying, so there will be an increase in the number of kids that survive, and then it's actually
Mm,
increasing the overall number of it's increasing population, but here it declines the
declines.
population. Yeah. Uh,
Counterintuitive.
yeah, it's like my grandmom, she had like 12 siblings who survived, 11 siblings, 12, she was the 12th, and five died. So even like in
Mm,
1920s, 30s in India, I mean, the infant mortality rate was extremely high.
extremely
And
high. 40%.
so my great grandmom had 17 kids and only 12 survived. So you can imagine like but like once you have five kids who have grown up, like they are in their teens maybe. Now you know that these kids will likely not die. I think the mortality is very
Mm,
high in the young age, like during
infancy
the
stage.
infancy and maybe
Mm,
like early stages of life. But once they reach teenagers, they'll survive. So I
so yeah,
think they knew that they had these five kids who survived, but then they still decided to have five more kids after that. I think that's just maybe lack of family planning and lack of maybe contraception
lack
and
of
all of
access
that.
to TV. TV, smartphones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly. So, so Nimish, you said about childcare, right? The whole human civilization, like the whole human culture, whole human civilization is uh, based around the childcare. I think the central character of human civilization, like civilization as a whole, is childcare. Because if you see, many in animal kingdom do not have that kind of social structure that we have, and our whole development, like from the whole inventions, development, whatever we have achieved till date, is because of the social structure. Like we divide our work, like we do, like we yeah. So this social structure comes from uh, at the core of it is childcare. Like uh, like the humans divided their work, like many years before. Men were hunters and women were gatherers, and we were a social group. Like the elder females and other females took care of the child of the tribe or whatever. So that kind of social cohesion gave rise to the civilization that we currently have. So do you think that the change in social structure, like from we have the basics of that social structure, but the core is changing. Like the reason for the structure is changing. Uh, so what do you think about this? So yeah, where's our future going? Where's the social structure, like the social cohesion, civilizational structure as a whole? Do you think that's going to change because of this low TFR and low, like what do you say, nuclear, like the trend of nuclear family?
that's a
Just
very
for
interesting question. I absolutely agree that like there is a saying, no, that it takes a village to raise a kid.
raise a kid, yeah.
Because if you have a kid, you know that it's just a couple. Like they're not. It's not enough for them to just
Absolutely.
raise a kid. You need familial help. You need other social net to support you. So I'm sure, yeah, I absolutely agree that it's um yeah, having a kid. And yeah, I agree with your point that I think historically our culture and our society would have sort of developed structures that are compatible with child rearing and
Hmm.
upbringing of kids. I think that would be the central focus of a group of people, because they would optimize their culture and like their dynamics of their society to optimize and make the child upbringing as smooth as possible. And things have changed now, of course. I think many people even think that the Western civilization is sort of incompatible with family, like with uh, child upbringing, child rearing, and it's sort of yeah, it's
Now it's more about individual, like
yeah,
individual
it's
achievement.
very yeah, it's highly focused on individualism and your desires above everything else. So you even above your kids' desires or having kids. So it's very self-centered. Especially, I think the American culture is very, very
Eh,
self-centered. Um, I think what happens is often these close familiar relations get replaced, or familial support gets replaced with other societal structures. Like you have hospitals and nannies and nursing staff in hospitals caring for child daycare. All of these other sort of structures come up. Um, I'm not sure if they are a good replacement of the familial support or not. If I'm not an expert on that, but I think societies will try to somehow um, make child rearing as as soon as
Mm,
possible. But yeah, I think if it's completely incompatible, then at some point there will be a sort of a breaking point where
mm,
will just stop having kids, and then societies will cease to exist. So there will be a turning point, a wake up call, like a big change from there, where people will then again come out of this self-centered world and move towards more communal world or more
mm.
societal oriented world where you
Exactly.
yeah
So I think the world moves like if we go to one extreme, then people try to move to other extreme, not come to center. People try to move to other extreme. So yeah,
yeah
we'll oscillate between the two
absolutely.
extremes.
Like on this
Uh,
trend of trad wife nowadays, no? That's sort of have you heard of trad
what?
wife trend?
Red white.
I thought you were active on Instagram. You must be plugged into all these trends. Trad wife is like a traditional wife. Like many women are now choosing to be trad wife instead of trying to
Yeah, be
follow
modern.
this. Yeah, trying to follow this. Yeah, modern maybe trying
Not
to
modern, yeah, but
follow the trend of like being a girl boss and like the
hmm,
2010s you know trend of independence and all of that. So this trend wife is apparently a new
sorry,
trend in today's
I've
world.
not heard about that trend.
It's not worth hearing about, but yeah, I think that's a trend. That's a social sort of movement. Yeah, but yeah, I think we will find some optimal point eventually. I think joint families and all these structures that we had before had their pros and cons. Maybe they were good for raising a kid, but they were not good for the adults in the joint family. So nuclear family, we move towards nuclear families, and nuclear families maybe is a good balance. Maybe it's not. So maybe again we will sort of optimize the
Hmm,
society, hopefully in a positive direction.
yeah. So, Nimish, like the India's TFR is 1.9, right? And it's rapidly declining, as I've said. So the whole population, like the whole system, economic system, changes, right? So, as you have seen in the Japan and South Korea, uh, as more and more old people are there in a society, the whole economic structure also changes, right? So, what do you think about this India's latest TFR in economical sense? Like,
Mm.
like what I'm seeing is people are increasingly like suppose a couple has only one child, and so earlier they were obsessed about quantities, like at around one generation earlier to us, like they were thinking about quantity. So right now we are thinking about quality. We are thinking about like we are spending on quality, not quantity. We are spending on education. We are spending on experiences. We are spending on visiting places. Uh, nutrition, like good quality, like high quality foods, like healthy foods, and health. Like we are doing, like we are taking subscriptions. We are joining clubs. We are joining sports and personal experiences. And that kind of thing did not happen with the earlier generation. So yeah, that kind of that's one trend I'm thinking economically. Also the mm, geriatric, like the elderly care, is also going to be a huge deal in India, like it is in Japan and Japan and South Korea. It's called, I think, silver economy.
Mm.
Like whole the whole economical system, like adult diapers, like
Mm.
elderly care homes, special geriatric hospitals. So that kind of thing, I think, will be a thing in India.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think. maybe we are a few decades away from that
Yeah,
stage,
yeah, yeah,
but
absolutely. Few decades away,
we are moving in that direction. But I think the only concern is if we don't, uh,
become rich before
yeah,
becoming
if we
old.
don't become rich, if we don't get to that level of development, then it will be hard to
Exactly.
fund all these uh, old care social facilities and the old care
Mm,
uh, the old age care that we need to fund. We won't be yeah, we won't be having funds for all of that. So Japan, even like it's a rich economy, and even it is
they
struggling
can.
to basically
Exactly, exactly.
uh, to make it work somehow. Um, so yeah, if you don't get to that point, then I don't know how, yeah, what the situation would be. In fact, right now we don't even have the basic safety nets for retirement, right? Like in all these old economies, they have all this pension, social pension schemes, and all of that. We have some
Exactly.
form of that, but it's not that robust. And you're supposed to plan for your own retirement, and you're supposed to fend for yourself when you
Mm,
retire, right?
mm.
There is some PF and all of that, but still, like it's all to each they have to care for themselves. So yeah, without all this social support, social network, um, safety network. I don't know how, yeah, how we will manage to be a silver economy if we don't become a rich economy.
Rich economy, absolutely. And what do you think the economy will look like? Like the India's economy will look like in after I think two two decades, let's say. What do you think after at the century of our freedom, like 2047? What do you think? What does the young people? What does the youth of that time aspire?
I think it all depends on um, how efficiently we make use of the youth dividend that we have, the young
You mean demographic dividend?
demographic dividend that we have. Like if so we have a lot of young people today, and maybe for the next 2 decades, we will still be a young country. And if we don't manage to employ all these people in skilled jobs and make use of their talent, their energy to uplift the economy, um, so it all depends on that. How efficiently we do that. Um, yeah. I think
Uh,
there is inherent dynamism in the economy. Like people are like young people are full of energy, and there is good things will come out of it. But I think that we also need policies directed towards ensuring that young people achieve
exactly.
the aspirations that they have for themselves, and they contribute to the economy with their best potential. So
And with respect to the demographic dividend, right? We are. I think it's been around for two decades, right? That we're hearing demographic dividend. I think because of this latest reality check of 1.9 TDFR, I think the demographic dividend will only be valid till I think around 2030 or 2035 or 2040. I think after that it will be decline. It will be declining. So the
we
young
only have
population will
this
decrease.
very short window
Very
to make
short,
use
yeah,
of our population dividend,
absolutely, yeah,
demographic dividend.
around 15, 20 years, 20 years. So I think India.
It's sort
So
of
and also with the advent of AI, the
exactly. I was
whole
going to say
yeah,
that. Yeah, the equation all changes completely when you
question
bring
all
AI
changes
in
completely.
in the
Absolutely,
equation. So it's sort of unfortunate that yeah, AI is reaching its is maturing and getting to a stage where it may replace jobs, and we have a lot of young people, and if we don't have enough jobs around, then how will that play out? It's to be
exactly.
seen. Yeah, to be seen. And
Like when discussing TFR, right? And I just said AI. So the thought of her movie came to my mind. So
yeah,
so if you can extrapolate the AI in that respect also, so I think the AI, like you said, the every technological advancement reduces the TFR. So I think AI will also be the next coffin in the nail. Next nail in the coffin.
yeah, I completely agree. And I think we are
Next
already
nail in the coffin.
seeing that people are having like very close relations with these chatbots. Like they are really getting into sharing their feelings and discussing everything that's happening with their life with
Everything.
the chatbot, and they're developing a connection. Now, to be seen if that replaces their actual human connections or it supplements human connections. That's to be seen. But I imagine it would replace human connections. People would
Absolutely.
not want to deal with all the complexities that
I also,
come with
yeah,
human relations, and they would just want to find comfort in this easy
easy.
AI
AI.
connection.
So the human to human connection is a messy, right? It's because the opposite person is also a human. So in this AI, the opposite person is your soulmate. It will shift to your needs. Like they'll shift to what you need the most. So
Yeah, exactly.
it will be your soulmate. So you'll be sucked into that
Truly,
vortex
in a true
truly.
sense, it will be a soulmate.
True,
It will,
yeah, exactly. In a
it
very
will,
true sense, it will be
uh,
made for you. Eh,
yeah, exactly.
like
It will adjust itself to completely align with your needs.
completely
Uh,
alive with you. Absolutely,
and you will be happy. The company getting money from you will be happy. So everybody will be happy except for uh, humanity. I would say that will be a very. It sounds like a very bleak picture to me.
very,
Um,
very.
maybe I think my hope is that maybe there is something really biological,
Nah,
some
yeah.
biological desire of
But
human
thing is,
connection.
the biological need can also be fulfilled with, I think, many people still do.
No, not
Uh,
that biological
the
need, but I think just
procreate, the need to procreate. What I'm saying.
procreate or just need to have social connections. I think there is this deep human desire to be a part of a group of humans. Like you want to have relations, and it inherently makes you.
But isn't AI replacing that? Isn't AI replacing that connection? The human
I
to
think
human connection is
in
replacing.
even before AI, in some form, social media replaced some of that connections. Like
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
found comfort in their social media connections, social
Hmm.
network connections, and people are realizing that it's very addictive, and you sort of get drawn to that social network digital connections. But we are realizing that it's not enough, and in fact, it's making you more isolated, and it's making you more
Hmm.
depressed in some cases. If you replace social connections with that, it's not healthy. But yeah, you still can't control it. You just are drawn to that
Absolutely. Because that's
validation.
inherently
Yeah.
human, right?
Yeah. In the same way, I think even though the AI connections would be net negative overall, but you'll just get drawn to that AI connection, and it will be hard to know,
Absolutely. I can,
avoid or abstain from human connection if you don't have absolute self control.
I can even, there's images coming to our mind as you speak, like what will be happening, like the people talking to AI chatbots and like the her
Yeah,
movies
like her
flashing before
movie.
my
Yeah,
eyes.
exactly. Like what they have shown in her. Yeah. I think already there are various chatbots that are
Yeah,
designed. Like
specifically, yeah,
yeah, not just this chat GPT and the general purpose bots. There are like companion bots already getting
companion
designed,
bots.
and why not? I think companies will make a bank with this technology.
I think I think I think elderly people. I think this will be very important for elderly people because elderly people need some connection, right, in the old age, and I think AI can actually replace that. That will be a good.
I don't know. I mean, what kind of society are we creating if we need AI to
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know
It's not the, yeah, but yeah, but it's
to
not a
satisfy
take
the
on
needs of
society.
an old person? We need AI.
Yeah,
Like maybe we
I,
should
I, yeah. I
change
know.
our
I got
society
your
to
point. Society,
make society elderly friendly.
but
Yeah,
yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but
yeah,
that's not the reality we are in, right?
yeah, yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, no, yeah. That's going to be the reality, and I think maybe once AI take over, like all the jobs and like the lower level of jobs, maybe we won't need as many people for to sustain the economy. And then a silver economy will be self-sustaining because the AI will basically do all the, it will generate all the productivity that's required without young people. So
Hmm,
yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, that's clouds of future, but there's still hope of sunshine, whatever that may be.
yeah, it's lots of unknowns and lots of
Lots of unknowns, exactly.
yeah, especially with AI, it's even if AI does not replace all the jobs and it's not good enough, but I think it will be a good enough companion. I think it will have all these yeah, people will just find it easier to just
Absolutely.
have a relation with with an AI than a real human being. I think that
I think the no, not well to do like the lower strata of society will try to find companionship in AI, and the I think the very top level like the rich people will try to stay away from AI companionship and that kind of thing, like the whole. I think that's my
yeah.
prediction.
No, I agree. I think you see the same even today with social media. I think the low educated and like sort of that level of that part of society is highly addicted to social media because they just
Mm,
yeah, they don't have their guards up when they don't understand how these algorithms are sort of manipulating them and them and so on. So they are falling in trap of addictions before the rich people and the upper class of society falls into this trap. So yeah, I think that will repeat with AI as well, I guess.
okay. So yeah, Nimish, after the discussion about economy, discuss the the lowering of birth rate as a for planet as a whole, for the whole globe. Like the like this India's reduction in TFR mirrors global reduction, right? Uh, mirrors Americas and Europe during their growth phase. No, mirrors means not exactly mirrors, but yeah, uh, and the whole Earth, like the whole planet Earth, is trending towards population decline. So over the last 70 years, the TFR has been the overall average TFR is I think dropped more than half from 5 to 2.2. Uh, so the I think the global TFR is expected to reach 1.83 below 2.1 global by 2050. 1.59 by and 1.59 by 2100. Uh, so by 2100, all of the I think more than 97% of countries will have TFR less than 2.1. So yeah, the whole Earth, the whole human population will decline.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, that I think that that this whole rapidly declining TFR, uh, it's uh, it's a issue because uh, many countries will become old before becoming rich, as you said. So that's the major issue which the government and needs
It's an
to tackle.
issue in the economical sense, but if you ask an environmentalist or a climate
Absolutely.
scientist, they would say it's a good news for the planet because that
Hmm.
means that we'll exploit the resources, will reduce the exploitation, hopefully. But I don't think we will reduce the exploitation that quickly. I think that will be a big because um, yeah, I think agreed that our population will start declining, but then our per capita consumption will also reach the American level eventually. Like we'll
Hmm.
also the individuals in all these countries will also sort of become economically developed and they'll start consuming more. So I think the resource consumption may not decline as as soon as 2100. Maybe there will be a lag when the population declines. The overall resource consumption will be declining after maybe 50 years of after that.
Even
So
so there will be like
yeah, there will be a lag in that. Um, I don't see why more people are good for the planet. Like why inherently having more humans around is a good thing. Uh, is there a philosophical or biological reason for that?
I think that that's a biological reason, right? You want to have your progeny.
No,
Uh,
I mean overall, like if you just see from the planet standpoint, we
Planet
have
standpoint.
finite
Yeah.
planet, right? We have this planet,
Hmm.
precious ball in the
Hmm.
universe.
The universe.
Uh, Now, having 10 billion humans on it, is that an optimal thing to do, or having fewer humans, but then living in harmony with the nature? And is that a better thing for the planet? I mean,
Food for
that's
thought.
yeah, that's food for thought. Yeah, like if you have more,
Interesting question.
yeah, if you have 10 billion people, then maybe if there is a catastrophe, if there is an asteroid strike or something, maybe there is higher chance of some people surviving because there are just so many.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll survive all these catastrophes and we'll make it to the other end if we have a larger
Hmm.
population.
So
Uh,
evolutionary, it is better deal, right?
I mean, in terms of catastrophes, yes, but then
Yeah.
if we accelerate the catastrophes because we are 10 billion people, we are just accelerating the climate change. We are accelerating all the the decline of the planet because of that. Then even evolutionarily, that is a bad thing.
I don't think this whole climate doom is. I don't think that's. mm, I don't think that's immediate.
I mean, define immediate, no, 100 years, 200
No, but
years.
see the like the climate as a whole, right? The climate as a system is so huge that you can't even begin to predict. Like I know that the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere increased from the increased from the this industrial revolution. That's the truth. That's the fact. But I think I don't think humans uh, less humans is a solution to that.
Why not? Like if there are fewer humans, then there will be fewer consumption of resources, right?
But there'll also be invention. There'll also be efficiency increase.
Yeah.
Maybe we can produce nuclear fusion now.
So you're basically saying that we may be able to sustainably mm,
Sustainably build our population and also conserve our planet.
I think at the today's rate, we are not getting there.
I think at the today's rate and with the today's technology. That's the main technology is the choke point. Like if you were to find nuclear fusion today, like if you were to solve the nuclear fusion today, then there's no need for coal power station, right? So all the coal, like theoretically, can be closed down 10 years from now, and
Yeah,
also because of the free, near to free, not free, but very cheap electricity, the EV cars will also be cheaper and easier to operate. So the two important source of pollution gets uh, destroyed with a single invention. So what I'm trying to
I-
say is, what I'm trying to say is, resource use is not a constraint. Constraint is technology.
yeah, but what if these technologies don't get invented before
Yeah.
we actually reach that catastrophic point of no return, right? Because it is
Hmm.
this is undisputable fact that this increase in temperature, like that, will have
Increase in
uh,
temperature. Yeah,
consequential
but
impacts
is
on the
the but
ecology.
yeah, yeah, but does increase in, do you have that one-to-one correlation that increase in temperature will have this kind of effect only? What if the global ice age occurs? That can also
No,
happen.
no, I mean,
You mean some kind of climate
no, I mean,
disturbances will
you
happen?
can okay, then make a point. Then why bother? Maybe an asteroid will hit the Earth tomorrow, and we will die anyway. So, I mean, it's this all these counterfactuals that what if ice age occurs, and all of that is like worst case scenarios. Like if they occur, then anyway, it doesn't matter if we have 1 degree higher temperature or not. But that's an extreme kind of situation. But
No, no,
if you take,
no. What I'm trying to say is, what if the 1 degree, like
hmm,
say, let's say you gonna said that by 2100, the 1 degree Celsius will increase the water level by the 6 months. I think that's not very accurate thing to say. Like I think 1 degree Celsius rise in temperature, you can know for sure that what will happen.
no, no, I think that's undisputable, except for one thing. I think the science is very clear on this, Nikhil, that with I think 4 degrees Celsius, if you reach that point, I think lots of biological processes start failing. It's not just like rising sea level and one or two factors that will be very inconvenient. I think lots
So,
of ecological cycles will just start breaking after that point.
but 4 degrees is still long way to go, right? I think we are
I
not
mean,
ready.
there is a point of no return,
Yeah.
but
There
even
is
like
water.
4 degrees is like catastrophic. Like there is just after that, it's just
But
hopeless
is
to
it
survive.
but can you, is it what I'm trying to say is, this whole ecology and this whole Earth's climate system as a whole, right? It's very complicated system. You
No, I
can know
think
for
this it's
sure
very
that.
complicated. It's very complicated, but I think you can. I think these this is not disputed. This is this
Mhm.
that if you once you reach 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, like there is some number. Once you reach that degree of temperature rise,
Hmm.
I think it's you can't predict accurately that this thing will happen in this month or something. But on
Hmm.
average, these uh, biological systems will break. I think that's not disputed. I think that's established in many different domains that this is catastrophic. I don't think it's that unclear or it's still in there is no consensus on that. I don't think that's the case. I think there's very strong consensus that this is going to be extremely uh, dangerous. Yeah. But I think your point, which I sort of still agree with, the solution of to that problem is not maybe just population decline. Like this is the very blunt tool for this problem. Maybe just this like the Thanos is there is this yeah, I think what is it called? Thanos is click or what's this?
Mm.
What do
I don't know what do you say in English.
uh, uh,
With
I
a snap of finger, finger
yeah, the
snap.
snap. Yeah, the Thanos' snap. Maybe that's not the solution to that problem, but I don't think that's disputed. The crisis is that disputed. Um, but let's assume that okay, we don't need population decline for a harmonious planet, for a sustainable planet. Let's assume that's the case. Let's say we can sustain the population of 10 billion in a sustainable way on this planet. I still am not able to justify why 10 billion is a better number than 5 billion. Like, what's inherently better than why is that number? Why is as many people as possible a better thing to have
You mean the even philosophically, right? Why
philosophically?
more
Yeah,
more people say, yeah.
yeah,
Hmm, that's a good, interesting
or even
question.
scientifically. Like, is there any scientific, like, is there any biological difference or evolutionary difference in having as many people as possible? I agree that extremely small population is at risk of extinction. Of course, like you can't have just
Hmm,
1,000 people. But
hmm.
I don't know if there is an evolutionary advantage of having 10 billion over 1 billion. Maybe evolutionarily, it's better to have fewer population and have some buffer, like have some limit. Like you should not push the planet to the breaking point, and maybe try to have some buffer before the breaking point to evolutionarily survive some catastrophes. Like say tomorrow a volcano erupts and that increases the temperature by some degrees because of the eruption. And if you don't have any buffer, then that will take you past the breaking point. So it's maybe good to have slightly smaller population to handle all these unknown events that may occur.
Or maybe the whole universe is a simulation to see how we are going to do
That's maybe
eventually.
too meta philosophical. Let's I don't know.
Just to metaphorical.
Yeah. So yeah, my question is basically what's the optimal population evolutionarily? Given this
Hmm,
planet and this limited resources and this kind of technological advancement level that we have today, what's the optimal number of people on this planet to ensure our survival in the best possible way?
maybe I don't know. I need to think that through. I think I found your point interesting that if a super volcano like lights up and the whole world goes dark due to its ash, and maybe the temperature drops, maybe ice age occurs,
Yeah.
and that kind of maybe that kills many people, and that kind of the whole system will readjust itself.
Yeah, but like,
Maybe
yeah,
maybe I think if we do cross the point of no return, nature will readjust itself, and many people will die, and will reach a equilibrium kind of a situation.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, absolutely. That's nature is here to stay. It's a question
hmm,
of whether we are part of
hmm,
that world or not. And
hmm,
when that readjustment happens, maybe the equilibrium is such that
lower,
we go
maybe
extinct.
equilibrium is lower. Acha, okay,
When we go
okay,
extinct,
okay.
like
Hmm,
dinosaurs, right? The equilibrium was such that they went extinct, right?
hmm.
So I think if we have a smaller population,
Okay, okay.
maybe it's
So you mean optimum position so that the chances of human survival is highest.
exactly.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, optimum population. Like if you have too little population, then they will just all die.
Hmm.
Then they will not survive. So you need there's maybe a sweet spot where if you have more than that population, maybe that's already putting the stress, so much stress on the planet that some small incident and the planet is beyond the point of no return. Right. So you need
Hmm.
some buffer. You need to have
Hmm.
only that many people that does not put so much stress on the planet's biology and
But
ecology.
let's say we let's say even if you don't do anything, let's say we are already at the optimum number. Let's say 5 billion is the optimum number, right? And if tomorrow super volcano like a super volcano breaks up and if the whole whatever the ice age and that kind of thing occur, and if the whole human population, so after that, what is the what is the critical number so that uh, human beings will live? After that, like the human being as a species will survive.
No, after that, so so, so that's the so if 5 billion population is the optimal number for that scenario, then we will surely be able to get to an after catastrophe scenario where we meet that requirement. We will have enough people to basically continue our species. Um, that's why 5 billion is optimal. Like if you maybe had 10 billion people, right, and then a catastrophe happens, then maybe the ecosystem is such that you will not be able to meet that
Hmm.
minimum requirement and you will go extinct.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
the optimal number would be such a number where after the catastrophe you will have the chances of survival, the highest chances of survival after that. Have
Hmm.
you will be left with at least some number of people to
I think
basically
I
continue
think
the species.
that will be a very low number.
The number you will require to continue the species, that will be a
Exactly.
very low number. That will be a very low number, but
No,
maybe
but
5 billion
no, that optimum population.
optimal number.
I think
You'll,
I think
why a low
that's
number? Because but if that's a very low number, then you may all just die, right?
no, but no, but lower considering our current population.
Maybe like 1 billion or lower than that, you mean?
Yeah.
But why? Why having more people is bad?
No, means the lowest number of population which are required
Hmm.
uh, such that there is
The
a buffer is there, and also if the like some super event
hmm,
occurs, the species also survives. I think that will be
right,
very low,
but it's not
not in
intuitive.
billions,
Why?
not in billions. I think
But why? Why do that's not intuitive to me? Like, why do you need? How much buffer do you need? Is a very complex question, no?
no, not how much buffer, like lowest mean lowest amount of population, which
Okay, the minimum population
minimum
that would
number.
ensure the no, but even that's no.
Not
I mean,
minimum. So minimum number of population that also has that also keeps the buffer, and it also carry forward the species at the time of some super extinction event.
yeah, but
That is, I think,
but then you're talking about buffer, right? Then like that keeps the
buffer and
buffer
also, yeah.
the survival, right? So,
Hmm.
but why having a buffer is useful is also it's slightly unintuitive. Why you need a buffer? What if you don't have a buffer, and what happens? And um, naively, it feels that you should have as many people as possible, right? Naively, the
Hmm.
more the
Hmm.
number of
Hmm.
people, the more the chances of survival because somebody will
Hmm.
survive. If you have
Hmm.
20 billion, 30 billion, then it's better.
Hmm.
But maybe that's not. Maybe you need a buffer.
Maybe
And
unity before, because we are in a system, like the we are in a
exactly,
system,
yeah,
yeah, we are
yeah,
an environment, and
yeah,
we also interact with the environment. So
yeah,
and also we are in a, I think, symbiotic relationship with the environment, and if too many,
yeah.
I think some experiment, I think has when where many, like the population explosion occur, and after that, the environment, because due to
Hmm.
the environmental constraints,
Couldn't
population
sustain
decline.
the
Yeah, couldn't sustain, and
yeah.
all the people died. All the rats or
Hmm.
some the
Yeah,
organism died. I think, yeah, some kind of.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, but your intuition is that it will be a very small number. It will be in millions or something. That will be optimal to have.
Not in billions, I think.
I don't know. It's a very hard question. I can't put
Hard
a
question.
number on
Yeah,
it. Yeah, I can't say for sure what because the planet is very big. So it's good to also have people spread across different
yeah,
geographical regions and all of
absolutely,
that.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. And
and yeah, and also like you need enough people to innovate technologically to increase our survival and all of that to increase our chances of survival in case of catastrophes and all of that. So I think it's a very hard question. Yeah,
that's very some.
yeah,
Yeah. So
but
yeah, coming back from this rabbit hole.
yeah.
So yeah, TFR. Uh, uh, so Nimish, because of the whole decline in TTFR globally, many countries like the Japan, South Korea are giving incentives to people to make more babies. But the global, like the global solution is not well made. Like the solution is not foolproof. Like even if you give people incentive to make babies, they're still not having more babies.
Mm.
Like the South Korea and Japan is the very
Like Andhra Pradesh. Andhra
Andhra Pradesh
Pradesh,
exactly
yeah, they gave this benefit of
30,000, 40,000.
30,000 rupees
Yeah.
for the third kid, right? And yeah, and people are still not going to have three kids. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because the whole life cycle cost is high, right? And they are only giving this one time cash scheme is not but even the Singapore, I think some government, I think Singapore has done some comprehensive incentive schemes, but still the TFR has declined. So this whole incentive is not enough for people to have more babies.
And I think it's the
Uh,
long policy intervention, in my opinion. Like, if you want people to have more kids, I think this one-time lump sum money is that's not what people are looking for. People are looking for long-term solutions, right? Like
Even
childcare
yeah.
solutions and all of these.
Hmm.
So maybe if you have really high quality education for free, if you have healthcare, really high, good quality healthcare for free, like if you invest your resources in the actual problems that people are concerned about, then
But
maybe,
Nimish, what I'm saying is, even if we invest in those kind of incentives, then
okay,
also people are having less kids.
yeah, yeah,
See the Scandinavian
yeah,
countries.
right, right, yeah.
They are the epitome of social welfare, right?
Yeah, yeah, right, right. I think even that is not enough to
Hmm.
motivate people to have kids. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, but at the end of the day, people would not be taking decisions that are like good for the entire country or something. They'll be just looking for
Exactly.
from their
Looking for
perspective,
them
and then
themselves.
for
Yeah.
yeah, they'll be making decisions that are good for them. And if they think having one kid is or having no kids is good for them,
Dink. Double income, no kids.
double income, no kids is a good strategy to go for.
Or
Maybe
Diok, the double income, one kid.
I think maybe this DINK and all these strategies um, is in response of extreme affordability crisis. I think if things are
Exactly.
affordable and people would at least have one kid, I think. I
Affordable
mean,
and
this is an
quality.
intuition.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, it's my
absolutely agree.
intuition that
Absolutely agree.
people would inherently like there's an innate desire to at least have a kid, right? And
Okay.
if all the other social structures are conducive for that, people will have a kid. All this DINK and all of that is just a response to lack of social support.
Exactly. And the Dink is, ठीक है, Dink is, I think, social media fad.
Yeah. One factoid from this Financial Times article that people who have kids normally in at least in the developed countries, those who are having kids are having like three, four kids, and those who are not having kids are not having any kid. So it's not an equal even distribution that everybody's having one kid. Some are having many kids and some are having no kids at all. So
In the developed countries.
developed countries. Even if you like in the UK, if you look around, like there are couples with like four kids. So those who are having kids are really like, yeah, they're on a roll. They're just having kids. Uh, yeah, but some are not having any kids. Interestingly, I think
Mm,
there was some research that rich people are having more kids. Again, it
more
aligns with that,
kids.
like
Yeah, for
educated
affordability.
yeah, affordability reason that rich people can afford to have four kids, so they have four kids, and it's the poorer class was abstaining from not having kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So, Nivish, do you want to add anything on this topic, like any angle which you have not covered?
No, I think we have covered a lot of ground
We covered detailed discussions.
discussions, but I think this. Um, I found this very interesting. This question about the optimal population that we should aim for. Maybe that
Mm,
will guide policies of different governments. Like if you know what the optimal population for your country is, given your geographical area, you will adjust your policies accordingly. Because we just don't know yet, right? That's why in India we pursued this policy of family planning and all of that because we just didn't know what's the optimal number to go for. So
mm.
we need to first define, agree within ourselves what's the optimal number to first aim for. But it's a very you can't actually put a
Actually,
number. I
exactly.
think it's not a scientific question. I think it's not
Now,
a
scientific question, and also this whole aggregate level data, right? The whole uh, country level data, it's not a true reflect. It masks the whole individual. I think we should look at the granular data that will give more insights. Like
Hmm.
the because I think if even if you do all kind of things, if people don't want kids, they will not have kids.
No, but that's a discussion about how to implement policies. You need to look at granular data, like lower level data, to figure out which
Hmm.
policies would be effective. But my question is how to figure out what is the aim,
Optimum.
which
Hmm.
yeah, which policies is the next step. But what are we trying to achieve? Are we trying to achieve population growth or population decline or maintaining the population? Like, what's the goal? Uh, I think even that is unclear. Like Elon Musk thinks we should be having as many babies as possible. So population decline is a catastrophic thing to have. Many people think that the planet is already at its limit. We should not have population growth. So I think it's not even clear what the
Exactly.
goal should be and what should we aim for.
But I think Elon Musk is practicing what is preaching
Yeah.
because he has many kids, right?
He has 14 kids, I think 13, 14 kids. Yeah. But
He is
he is, I think,
responsible.
yeah,
He's
just having kids
something
is not
else.
enough. No, you also have to look after your kids and actually,
Absolutely. Yeah,
make
exactly.
sure they grow up to be good human beings. I don't think he's
Mm,
practicing that. He's just practicing the first step, which is to have
first
kids.
step. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah,
So yeah, we have done a detailed discussion on
yeah.
India's TFR guide.
Close this podcast.
Sure, sure,
This
sure.
episode.
So guys, good night. Bye bye. Thanks, Nivish,
Good
for
night.
your
Bye bye.
takes.
Thank you. Thank you, you
Bye.
too. Bye bye.